Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. AT&T is strictly about business at their worksite. CEO John Stankey made it plain in a recent memo to employees prepared to leave remote work behind and embrace being in the office or find another job. Many say this move could send shifts in how employee loyalty to companies is seen. I talked about it with our next guest here on The Factor. Take a look. And joining us on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us author tonight, Mita Malik, who is author of The Devil Emails at Midnight, What Good Leaders Can Learn from Bad Bosses. So, Mita, we have an eye-opener from AT&T CEO John Stankey.
Yes.
Made headlines recently saying, look, the honeymoon is over. Or is he telling us there never was a honeymoon and get used to committing yourself to the job without favor or extra perks that you're used to that maybe your mom and dad got on the job, like the gold watches?
Oh, yes, the gold watches. I think that he is saying the quiet part out loud. Nobody is willing to talk directly about the fact that the employer-employee contract is dead. You know, the social contract of I am going to provide you with job security and safety. I'm going to give you a pension and health benefits. And oh, the uncle who left AT&T after 30 years that got the gold Rolex, right? All of those things. Right. And in return, you give me unwavering commitment and loyalty. And that contract is gone. And that's due to a number of reasons, which is the rise in globalization, obviously the increase in AI, right? Instability in markets, all of those reasons are why we can no longer guarantee job security. It's dead.
So have we lost the loyalty that we once received from our employers over the years, many decades, which made many American companies great American companies? Yeah. Is that now gone?
It's slowly eroding and very quickly, particularly in these last 2 years, particularly post-pandemic. And I think it's really interesting, as I talk about in The Devil Emails at Midnight, I have the boss who I talk about as Tony Soprano, who could, kill your career with one phone call. But this idea that loyalty at all costs, I own your career, that doesn't exist anymore. Because guess what? I would have given you that loyalty in return if you promised me that I would still have a job tomorrow. And that's just not the case anymore. So that has to completely be rethought and renegotiated.
Now, is this a form of reciprocity as a result of many new young employees not being truly committed to companies, wanting to stay at home, working remotely, and leaving a job the moment they're not satisfied? Are companies responding in kind to the new younger workforce where they are not just fully committed? In some instances, not all of them, but
Right.
We've heard of the quiet quitting, all of the different trends that young people have, and they're not truly committed to companies unless companies are treating them a certain way. So are big companies responding in kind, saying, look, it's a job, work your job, go home, and that's all you get?
I think about the generation and how they grew up with so much economic uncertainty and instability, and they're entering the workforce. That dream that we think about with our grandfathers or our parents, right? And that they would be at the same job year after year after year for 30 years, that doesn't exist anymore. So I think there's a bit of, for the younger generation, I have to have side hustles. I have to have a portfolio strategy. They might not be using that language, but they are doing the bare minimum of work because they're not sure if they're going to have job security, and they have to think of other sources of revenue. There is a responsibility on employers to be clear on the expectations of work. And also, what are you going to learn? How am I going to teach you? I mean, so many bosses have forgotten this, the art of teaching and the art of coaching. And that's part of why people stay.
Rita, when you walk into your job, your work site, and you realize this company is no longer loyal to me, what should your mindset be? How should you respond? How do you continue working at that job with a healthy relationship with management if you know there's
Sure.
no loyalty to you? What's your advice to the average employee out there?
Well, first of all, just stop listening to this and go work on your resume. Joke, but no joke. Always have the resume
The
ready.
party is over.
Always have the resume ready. But here's the thing. You might be in a job and you think, I'm not going to be here long. I can see the writing on the wall. They're going to terminate me, lay me off, or I'm going to get bored. You come up with the plan. What are the things that you're actually going to get done, the 3 to 6 things at this job? And I would actually have sort of a future vision on your resume. Start writing what you want those bullets to do and be, and start doing that work. I think that's so important. And then also think about who else you can meet at the company if you don't have a good relationship with your boss and they're causing tension. Who are other leaders you can learn from? And then get your LinkedIn profile ready, start networking and meeting people so you can start to craft the plan. I'm not telling you to quit tomorrow. I'm not telling you to resign. I'm saying think about what you want to do next, either in that company or somewhere else. And you've got to, as we say, create the plan and then work the plan.
All right. Mita Malik, who is the author of The Devil Emails at Midnight, What Good Leaders Can Learn from Bad Bosses Out There. Thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and good luck to us all. Absolutely. The job market has changed.